Native and indigenous cultures have faced hardships for hundreds of years, their voices often being silenced both spiritually and creatively. Storytelling is a fundamental aspect of both indigenous and native cultures alike. Modern storytelling comes in many forms, and the most prominent of these forms can often be film. Not only short films and documentaries, but also feature films. If one were to search for video or documentary content based on Native Americans, they would simply find the best Native American films, or the best film festivals featuring Native Americans. These festivals are spread wide across the country and often have lengthy application processes and even cost money, so they're not really for everybody. Many would consider YouTube a place to upload content, as it has 1.9 billion users right now. And being solely focused on video content, you would think films would have a home, although this might not be the case. So Native Americans haven't really broken through that bubble of creators yet. Essentially, there are no major creators that are coming from a Native American background sharing cultural roots and Native and indigenous storytelling. And often these films, if they are uploaded to YouTube, are often buried by the continuous stream of content that's uploaded daily. So they're never really given a chance to survive or reach a good audience. Repeatedly, when you see Native and indigenous cultures on the news or media outlets, they're always pertaining to environmental impacts or political activism. Now, not saying that those news stories aren't important, yes, but it's limiting the perspective that's reaching you as an average person that might not be in contact with Native Americans daily. With a new media approach, a well-designed content aggregator or hub focused on indigenous films would not only be a great tool for Native Americans to share their voices with many, but also for new people to see more perspectives of Native Americans. They're people with traditions, culture, and stories to share.
Alright, so in this part of the video, I'm going to show you a quick walkthrough of First Nation Film and its functionality. It's a pretty basic website, mostly because it was built for free on a very limited budget. I think in total I spent around $50 on this project, including 2 weeks of AdSense pixels on Facebook. So if you go to either firstnationfilm.com or firstnationfilm.movie.blog, I recommend this link just because right now it's built on a free WordPress. So if we go to essentially I am providing this link to firstnationfilm.movie.blog. So it does remove some functionality, but that's just because we're in the beta stage. With funding, that wouldn't be an issue. So if you go to the website, this is what you're greeted with. It's a big ticker essentially that shows kind of the latest 5 or 6 videos that First Nation Films has posted. So up here you can kind of see a title and also a short description. If you're interested in this video, you can actually go ahead and just click right here. And this will bring up one of our many videos that we have hosted currently. So going back here, I'm just going to talk a little bit about this forward page. So because we are in beta, I am really trying to get feedback from every user. And throughout this process, the feedback system has been working great. So essentially, under this forward, I greeted people with 3 buttons. So we have the main 3 functions that I want the site to have currently. 1, allowing people to submit a film, allowing people to view films, and then also feedback. So I want them to kind of go through and see what the site would be, or what the site would mean to them. So let's go to the main feature of this site and go to the films. So again, this ticker's up top. So scrolling down here, we have a grid-like thing. So essentially kind of based on a Netflix or Hulu system, which lists out each video that we have with covers. Some of these did not have actual film covers, so I went ahead and took the liberty of grabbing screenshots so that they still pertain to the actual film. As we did before, if you just simply click on any of these films that might be interesting to you, so say you want to watch this feature called Sleep Dancer, click on it. You have a quick description, some credits. I highly suggest, if you guys are into native film, Roderick Puckawatch has at least 5 full-length films, by the way. Anyway, this is a full hour-and-a-half film, which I suggest you guys go and check out. We have, I believe, 2 or 3 feature-length films currently. Even though feature films is the title category, all these films aren't specifically features. So we have short films and documentaries as well. And how I tell the difference of that is mostly in the submission process. So if we go ahead and click submit a film, brings us to this page. Essentially, it's a simple form that people can fill out to add their video and get it vetted for this site. So it's a few simple things. They just have to put in their name, an email, a feature, indie, or short. So essentially they're choosing the type of film based on the length, the title of the film, as well as the description of the film. So that's where they'd put a short about, some credits, anything else that they might want, personal links, etc. Finally, so these are the most important links here. So essentially the link to the film. So I don't want people to simply host their film on here and have me get monetary value. I still want these people to get CTR and clicks on their own channels so that they can still get monetary value from there. That's the reason why I went with this link versus actually giving me the file and me hosting it on my site. It also saves me from paying for an extreme amount of data. And lastly, simply a link to a cover. So if you have any sort of graphic logo, anything like that would work, preferably an actual, essentially movie poster cover. All right, so the last two parts of this site are pretty simple. So the library is something that I created. It's a short bio about myself, as well as where you can see the entire capstone proposal and worksheet. So the latest one that I had uploaded. So if you're watching this after I've graduated, it should be the last version that I submitted. Following that, I do have my creator library. So these are all papers that I wrote in my undergrad during my NAS courses. And all of these are actually really interesting if you want to learn about tribal sovereignty. This one here is about the future of Native American films in specific, and they're as simple as clicking them and they'll open up a PDF. And the last but most important section on this website is going to be the feedback section. So essentially under the About Us, we have feedback. Since the site's in beta, I've been wanting to collect feedback constantly from users that are visiting the site. Simply, it's just a name, email, how long you spent on the site, what you enjoyed about it, what you might not have liked about it, and if anything you could add, what would it be? So from this simple form, I gathered a good amount of data, and I can definitely get a broader picture as to where this site would go, say it were funded or expanded on over the next few months. So that's it. That's my project, firstnationfilms.com. It's more of a proof that I think virtual films and virtual film festivals will become more of a thing. I predicted it back in September, and with COVID and COVID-19 happening currently, it's becoming a thing with the larger film festivals. So I think I was right before that wave that we always talk about. That wave, ride it, and there's the crash.